what I've done is I've placed my screen onto the clamps here. I've selected a squeegee, I've got my ink, I've got some tongue depressors to get the ink out with. Also, if you'll notice that the clamp comes up just a little bit here, so to account for that, I put a couple tongue depressors up front because I want even spacing all the way across my stencil. And it is important that my stencil is not down touching, or the screen's not touching my substrate, because part of the screen printing process is called snap off. I come down, it pops back up. That's what we're after. I'm going to take one sheet of my paper. My stencil starts coming off. I'm just going to work it on a little bit. Once I get some ink on there, that will help hold it on, so I'm not going to worry about that at this point. And I am going to line up my paper that I'm going to print on to my stencil. And I want to mark it once I get it up. The screens are kind of hard to hold up, so until I get ink on my squeegee, I can use my squeegee. After that, I usually use my tongue depressors to hold it up if I need to. I'm going to take a little bit of masking tape, and this sheet is going to stay through the whole printing process. So what I will do is tape it down really good so it does not move. Now, these are good. Now, let's see if the packaging tape will hold it down.
Put the screen on the other side so that the people can see the camera, what you're doing, you know?
They'll all work out once I get that squeegee out of the way. Okay.
That's what I meant.
Okay, so we will make sure that stencil's on good. Now I have it. That holds much better with the packaging tape. And so avoid the masking tape. And then I'm going to get some ink on here. So open up my ink. The inks are over on the bottom cart. If you have one that is bad, we will open up a new one, which was the case here. When I do this, I want to be careful not to get ink everywhere, like on my clothes. So I'm going to pour a bead of ink across the top side closest to the clamp. And put those there and there. Now, remember to put a sheet of paper on before you print, because you don't want to print on that one you lined up, because we're going to use that the whole time to line up. So I'm just going to match my paper up. I chose black paper and white ink. Then you can use any of the 4 or 5 colors that are over there and whatever colors ink you want. Okay, take my squeegee. I'm going to hold it. Now when I pull with my squeegee, I want to lock my wrist and pull with my elbow so I don't change the direction of my squeegee. I want it about a 30-degree angle or a 60-degree angle, depending on which way you are measuring from. 90, and then I guess that would be more a 60, but 30 down. So then I'm going to pull. Take my squeegee back up here, pull it up. If the paper sticks to it, I just peel the paper off. Bring it back down. This has got to go down on this bottom drying rack. And then I'll place another sheet of paper on here. You're going to do a minimum of 10, because we're going to need a number of them. Now notice my ink's all at the wrong side, so I'm going to use what's called a flood stroke. Press it back across. Come down, and that one worked better because the paper stayed down. Notice how much better quality that print was. Now I'm going to go after 10 quality prints. Now on this rack here, to bring down the next one, you're going to lift it up, pull it out, drop it down. Again, try not to forget to put a new sheet of paper down. And alignment's important at this stage because we're going to use paper on the next stage to align with too. So if I'm all over the place, my next prints won't line up as well. Again, another quick flood stroke. Back down. And pull. Oops. That happens. Make sure you check your squeegee and get any ink off there, because you don't want that on your hands, because that will just make for a bigger mess. I'm just taking a little rag, wiping the excess off.
Somewhere underneath. On the underside.
Oh, okay. so I don't get it on my hands while I'm printing, which I just did from my rag.
That's okay.
It's another impressive demo. Okay, lead, pull. And again, I'm going to do this until I get, and I just forgot to put a piece of paper in. So I'm going to stick another one on top of it. That one's going to stick to it now, so I can put this one on top.
Good idea.
And pull. Bring this one off. Ah, I got a fingerprint on it. Again, do as many as it takes to get 10 quality prints. You can lay them out someplace else to dry also if you don't have access to the rack, but just find a safe place. Don't lay them where somebody else is